Great, great. And what were the factors which eventually made you choose KCL?
So see, this was an interesting one. The reason I didn't go with US universities, even though I really like Georgetown, was
Yeah.
because I was working in the Middle East, and the Middle East law firms tend to work with English law firms. They're very heavily influenced by English law, so it's made sense for me to go to UK. The factors now for Kings were, I mean, see, when I had the offers in hand, I started discussing with different partners in Pakistan, UK, the Middle East, and
Yeah.
everyone had their own preference. Some would say, go to UCL hands down. Some
Yeah.
would say Kings. At the end, it's really a matter of your personal choice. See,
Okay.
for me, what I looked at was, and that was like given for all, it had great reputation, and the faculty was really good for arbitration. That really stood out to me. The second thing was they actually had centers which catered to arbitration. So they had an King's Forum on International Dispute Resolution. They had a Center for Construction Law and Arbitration, which is very good if you're into construction arbitration, which I was.
All
Then
right.
obviously there was an excellent alumni network. And like now that I've come here and I've started meeting people, I've realized that the King's alumni network in commercial law firms is better than what I initially thought.
All
So
right.
it's a huge. And the other thing, especially the real factor against UCL, which I went with King's, was that King's tends to have a lot of events focused on international arbitration. So while UCL had your more conventional events in other areas of law and very few events in arbitration, Kings tends to have like an event a month, related to arbitration. So that was something which really stood out to me. And the bonus here is the campus is beautiful, and you get a look of River Thames, which is very nice. You want to take a break from classes and go. And yeah, and if you're really into academic research, so UK has this ranking. It's like a reference framework, Ref 2014. Kings was ranked number one, and that was the last time these rankings were, published. And I think they're due to be out soon. So yeah, these were the main factors. And finally, I'll add another one. If you're into international arbitration, King's has this fellowship program with the Permanent Court of Arbitration in Hague. So each year, one King's student, whether that is an undergraduate or a graduate, they get the opportunity to work in The Hague for 1 year, and King's basically pays you a stipend to do that. So yeah, that was also something very interesting.
All right. So I think your response ties in quite nicely into a question that we've received prior to this session. These are crowdsourced questions that we're seeing on the screen now, all in inverted commas. I read out the first one to you. I'd like to pursue an LLM in dispute resolution. How should I decide between colleges in Europe and US? What are the pros and cons? Or perhaps we should take the next one first because you were talking about UCL as well as KCL.